Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, I want to take some look at the prices because even though not all of you like to talk about price analysis, technical analysis, and what the price is going to do right now, I think it's quite important to get at least an idea of what we are thinking and what the possible scenarios are that can play out right now. So I just want to briefly talk about XRP and XLM for right now, but also guys, make sure you check out the Discord. This is getting more livelier and livelier every single day. A lot of you guys are joining. I think it's pretty damn cool, but check it out. Link is in the description below. A lot of people have already joined in and we can have cool chats in there. And also, we are giving away 100 XRP if we hit 1,000 likes, so make sure you press the like button, are subscribed, and comment something down below. Having said that, taking a look at XLM and XRP for that matter, we can actually pretty clearly see that we are forming bullish pennants. Alright, I've talked to you guys about this before, that these are very nice patterns and very, very strong and beautiful if we break out to the top side. Now, we've talked about this before, but a lot of you guys said, man, we don't really still get exactly what this is, so I decided to pick up here the official definition of what a pennant, in this case then a bullish one, is, so you guys can hopefully understand it better. What is a pennant? In technical analysis, a pennant is a type of continuation pattern formed when there is a large movement in a security, which is this area right here, which is called the flagpole, followed by a consolidation, where again you're seeing a convergence or converging sequence, or I guess a converging series of events or closings, converging, what do you call them? Candles. And here they say the converging trend lines. Well, those are the two lines here. They're converging as well. The pennant, which is called that thing, followed by a breakout movement in the same direction as the initial large move. What that basically means is we should see a breakout after this flagpole to continue the movement, because in the bigger picture here, if you check out the daily, because what I was just showing you guys with the 4-hour, what it kind of clearly shows is that there's a uptrend going on, right? I think we will all agree on that. And this bullish pennant right now shows that there's a consolidation phase within the uptrend, and that one should break out to the top side here. And normally you would go long on about the place where you hit the initial high, and that might be actually the body, that may be the highest point, which could be here. It depends a little bit. But if we check the bigger picture for XRP here, which we can actually not that easily see on the 1 daily, but more so on the 1 hour or 4 hour, is that we actually have a pretty strong resistance zone here, starting at about 72 cents or so, or actually starting at about 69 cents, which I talked about earlier. And we're seeing some interesting setbacks here happen at about 68 cents. So in my opinion, it will actually really kind of spark, that's kind of funny. I'm not trying to talk about the spark token. It will kind of hang around this little area right here, which we saw just a couple of days ago. I mean, right here already hit a top, not even close to the top that we saw about the 25th or 24th of November. So we're definitely going to have to see a move with some strong volume inside. And now that we're talking about volume anyway, there's also some things you need to know about volume in these bullish pennants. It's also written here in the definition. Pennants are a continuation pattern where a period of consolidation is followed by a breakout, used in TA. It is important to look at I can also just show you guys this article here, so you guys can read with me if you are not in the car. It's important to look at the volume in a pennant. The period of consolidation should have lower volume, and the breakout should occur on higher volume. Most traders use pennants in conjunction with other forms of technical analysis that act as confirmation. So it's not really that wise to use this pennant on its own, as very often it does really not work out, but we'll talk about that in just a second here. What we're noticing is that the volume is deteriorating as the consolidation goes on. And it's very important that you don't have many of these heavy moves within the consolidation phase here. Otherwise, your move is not necessarily invalid, but not as strong. The lower the volume goes, or the more it deteriorates in volume, the more it's kind of showcased that traders are kind of giving up or not necessarily going in either direction, which is also, of course, logical when you're seeing a convergent move. But even though it's convergent, it could be that within this little area here, there's a lot of price action going on and a lot of volume, which again would make this signal a lot less strong. Now, there's a couple of other things which I think add to this whole fact, and that is that the macro, so for example here the weekly, actually shows a very, very bullish sign or a very bullish move, and that actually solidifies the idea that this is just a consolidation within a larger bullish period. So from that perspective, again, the upside is pretty much guaranteed if you follow the bigger picture, if you look at this, at least again following our theory and ideas. However, there are some historical pain points, is that the easiest way to say it here? You can see a lot of them are right here at about the 69-cent area, which again, if you check this one while I'm pointing it out here, this right here is a very interesting resistance area. Right around here. This has historically already been that way. And again, that's what this zone here is actually not that perfect, but that's also because I just drew it for an example here and it's not a perfectly drawn thing whatsoever. So again, don't mind this little green one too much. But yeah, you can see here on this bottom weekly chart here, there's some strong resistance going on, and that's actually counting up all the way to right around this area or so. It's a pretty big point here, which is just having a lot of resistance, and we can actually pretty clearly see that we've been dealing with that right here. However, that's also important to know for right now that we must be having some pretty strong move and a pretty strong breakout to actually get ourselves within this zone, because it would be about 15-16% to even touch that bottom part of it all. Or let's see, the bottom of the zone would be right around the if I can press shift properly. I cannot do that. I don't know what is this with pressing shift here. I know you have to press shift and then press the chart. That's exactly what it says. Shift plus click on chart, but it doesn't work. And I don't know if my shift button is broken or if I am just, pressing something here by accident. Because you can see I'm pressing this thing by accident, maybe because I'm hovering over this line. It could be, but it's very annoying in my opinion. However, again, it does work out right now. We can see exactly everything is still looking pretty damn juicy at this point, at least in my opinion. However, it would be some big gains to have. And now for XLM, kind of the same thing applies here. If you check the bigger picture here, there's still a bullish pennant going on. And once more, these things do not always plan out well. It's just a higher likelihood of doing so, all right? So it's not a necessity. It's not a necessary thing. We've seen it before with XRP that every time it forms this on the 4-hour, it really goes to the downside. However, in this case here, it's also forming it on the daily and the 1-hour, which is a lot stronger, I think, because it's forming it on every one of them. And in terms of volume, let's quickly actually check out how the volume is looking like for XLM. I didn't even check that one yet. I have completely deteriorated volume, I guess. Indicators, let's go for a volume. Let's put in volume here. Let's quickly take I put in 3 volumes. Okay, that's a little bit more than we need. Let's put in 1 volume here. We can see that the volume is also deteriorating over the 4-hour period here. And do I have volume in here? No, we do not either. Volume. Let's put that in here as well, and that's fine for just right now. We can see the volume has here also been deteriorating, which is really, really beautiful. And as long as we see a strong breakout with a lot of volume, it's a very bullish indicator. And I don't think I even have to put it in here on the daily, because you guys can already see how this is converging right now. It's literally doing it perfectly. And as long as it keeps doing this, we're still in the same type of area. We're still waiting for a big breakout to happen in either side. Most likely and hopefully upside, but if we do go to the upside, it means we're continuing the pattern, which is the most beautiful part about it all. All right, if we break to the downside, you can't really say too much about what exactly is happening, as everything points to a breakout to the upside. However, the macro for Bitcoin usually affects this quite heavily, and that's the strange thing with these cryptocurrency. And you might say, for stocks it's the same way, but it's actually not, because with a lot of these stocks, they have inverse correlations to each other, and with crypto, all of them except for the stable coins, they have a positive correlation to each other. So if Bitcoin goes up, then there's a good chance that most of these cryptos will go up. If Bitcoin goes down, most of these will go down, and they will most likely move in the same way, so upside or downside, however, with a different magnitude. So they will, of course, have a different beta, or a beta, and they will just move in a different magnitude. It's the easiest magnitude, it's the easy way to say it. However, they will generally move in the same direction, and that's the kind of scary part here, that even though everything may be looking very, very juicy and very beautiful, and I would definitely, if once more we break to the upside, trade this one as well. And, you guys know as well as I do that things are looking pretty damn juicy for XRP longer term. We have a ton of different ideas on where the price may be going. Here's just one example of a very bullish scenario if we were to copy 2017. However, we have more of those, right? We also have the lines one, which right now is not even that perfect anymore, I would say. However, this one kind of relies on a big bullish breakout right now, or happening one of these days. Let's quickly open it up here, XRP on the, here was the, another converging, I don't know what this talk was for anymore, but this was the one I wanted to pick up here. Again, it's not like this one has completely faded away, because we can actually still continue this pattern a little bit depending on when exactly we will hit another bottom at 44 cents. And if we do not, then all I can say is just this has really not planned out nicely, because, well, over this time period, if it's the 4 out here, we're just closing on it. But let's quickly check the daily here to see how this is all moving along here. So it's generally following the idea still, but not as beautiful as we had expected, right? Because as you can see, it's still, it hit the dip and it's actually going back upwards from there, but we expect it to go a little bit higher than this. However, if we do hit another high coming up in the next couple of days or so, it still continues on with the pattern and we still expect it to follow through. However, the likelihood of the blue scenario here is kind of an almost a zero, that this was the move it was going to make, as it's kind of looking like this, isn't it? It's kind of looking like we are literally having a pretty sad movement. I've also talked to some Elliott wave theorists, and by the way, for you all that are not watching, that are watching, I mean, the Elliott wave in this case would show there's an ABC pattern, the bigger one with subwaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't know how to draw it perfectly here without kind of a little bit of preparation, without further checking out exactly where those points are on the daily here. However, what it basically points down to is we have a, for example, A, B, for example. Let's just think about it a little different though. We were to, for example, have an A, B, and a C somewhere with different waves in the midst. So that's like an up, down, up, down, up, down in like a 5-point pattern. And what I've heard now, and again, I'm not that type of theorist myself, so it's not really what I like to do too much. This kind of follows that analogy or that idea, is that ultimately we're going to be going up like crazy or having a downfall a little bit down lower to about 44 cents, 42 cents per XRP. Which all would follow the idea. And with Bitcoin, that one was about 16,000 or so. It would have to fall down to follow this pattern or wave. But again, I will talk to you guys a little bit more about that if I get some more info, because I shouldn't be telling you guys about it if I don't know it perfectly myself, which I'm not going to be doing right now. However, another macro indicator for me is the fact that there is a huge and very heavy demand crisis, I want to say. You can also say supply crisis, depending on how you look at it and what way you think it's coming from. There's a supply crisis in the sense that people are very, very greedy right now, and the miners are not having enough to supply all the PayPal, Square, and Grayscale buys. On the contrary, there's a demand crisis because the demand is just way, way, way more, right? And it really is a problem from both sides, where the supply is just not enough because of heavy greed and just not enough mining, theoretically speaking. And there's just a very big problem from the supply side because there's just so much going on right now. It's record-breaking. It's completely damn heavy. And that adds to me a very bullish indicator for crypto on its own. However, once more, this does not take away that Bitcoin could go to 16,000 or XRP could fall another lower level. It doesn't take away from that. As those things happen in bull runs as well, corrections do occur, and it would all follow the bigger idea. So even if we fall back down, we all know the macro, and a lot of you guys that are here for the longer term, for which it does not really matter what exactly you do or think about it. However, once more, we should acknowledge and we should not ignore the fact that this is happening, and that once more, at least in my opinion, we don't really have to worry about any of the buys since the bigger picture is looking beautiful. Now, by the way, a couple of people were wondering or asking me, what do you keep saying about this Webull thing, or what is it? Because I always, talk about it really briefly and then I move on. I just recommend Webull as a trading platform, not a crypto buying platform, but a trading platform. So if you just want to buy something and hold, or buy something and sell it off again, this is what I recommend for U.S. citizens and U.S. Financial people. The reason I kept recommending it is because, well, you get 2 free stocks if you make an account, and I think 2 more if you deposit $100. So that's 4 free stocks valued from like $200 to $1,600 a piece. So even if you don't really want to use it, you can get free money and get out of there, right? So that's my analogy about it. Like, why would you not do that? And it's very popular amongst financial crypto YouTubers in that sense, so it's pretty damn safe in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I've been talking about this one a little bit more often, because I think it's a pretty damn nice one. The only problem is you can't trade ADA and you can't trade all crypto, and you cannot withdraw crypto from here or deposit it. However, you can trade it, so you will have that value. The same way in that you would have your money on PayPal or Square or things like that, or even Grayscale in a certain sense. It's backed, right? But you don't get the private keys to your crypto. However, it's kind of the same thing right there happening. Then Bitcoin OG whales are no longer holding, signaling a flip to the bear market incoming. And that's the thing I wanted to point out here as well, that you will always have people who will say exactly this type of stuff. Who will say, you know what, there's people who left, there's bears who have come in now, or there's people who've sold or let go, so we must do that as well. And that's a theory. That's one part of the story, yet it's always just one part. And the same thing can kind of go about these buys. You will always have reasons to buy or sell a crypto, but that doesn't mean you have to abide by everything, or you have to do a certain specific thing. It's just nobody can know what to do better than you can, all right, about your money. Some financial advisors may say, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that because there's a higher likelihood. That's so because of their analysis, right? But it's not a proven science. It's not like that will always be the case. And I firmly believe, and I know for a fact that you can make money with trading, but it's still not completely proven, in my opinion, that all this technical indicator stuff that we're doing actually officially is the truth. All right, it could give us an edge, but a lot of people debate it, whether or not it's really the truth or whether or not it really just shows what happened before and we're sort of luckier, so to speak, right? I firmly believe that it does, but there's so many people who are against it, and I kept seeing it in my comment section as well, people saying, you're just talking out of your ass. This what you're saying does not make any sense because it's not true. History doesn't repeat itself in prices. It comes close to it, but that's just luck and stuff like that. You'll always see them. So, in my opinion, once more, if people are bearish about it, I just like to read whatever they are bearish about. In this case here, OG wills, so people who have held Bitcoin for a very long time and finally decided to sell. In my opinion, that's also not a bad thing, all right? Because it actually shows that these guys are just finally taking some profits and want to use this crypto in a certain sense. Because you may be thinking, all right, these guys are just selling it off for dollars and are gone. There could be two things that they could be doing. One, they could be selling it because they're buying stuff, because they really want to use the crypto and what it's meant for, because you can't really see if they're purchasing crypto once more either. They could also be selling it off, though, for a different crypto, because maybe they're following the idea, like we've talked about on the channel, where Bitcoin goes up first and then it all moves into altcoins. If they follow that idea, they're still going to have to move Bitcoin or sell it and then buy altcoins back, like, for example, XRP, VeChain, XLM talk about it. So that's also not a bad thing at all for crypto. So again, don't get it twisted. And then there will always be people who talk about these Mr. Pool theories as well, and Bearable Guy 123, 589, just crazy conspiracy either theories or riddles and stuff like that. I personally don't follow it. I personally don't enjoy it. But if you do, all right, make sure you are rational with it all, and do keep in mind that these guys are, playing a little bit, and don't make any financial decisions because of stuff like this, guys. Please don't. And once more, guys, check out the Discord. A link is in the description below. Make sure you join it and check it out. Don't go too spammy or you'll just get banned, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.